Hi, my name is Ralph, and normally if you have seen my previous video, you know what is OpenPlotter and how to install it on the Raspberry Pi 5. Today we are going to take our first steps on OpenPlotter and making some basic setups. So after the first boot, the first things are to customize and localize your OpenPlotter. Concerning the user is Pi and should not be changed because most of the programs set up are already set up with that user. So you should not change the username. But the main thing you should do is change the password. So let's go in the Raspberry menu and then Preferences, Raspberry Pi configuration. So first thing, change the password. If you have not done yet, I've shown that in the previous video, but anyway, click on that, change your password, type your new password, and again, and click on OK. Password has been changed. Second thing, you should change your host name. For me, I'm going to put Elshina, which is the name of my boat. Click OK. The hostname has been changed and will take effect after the next reboot. So for now, it remains OpenPlotter. In the next reboot, my Raspberry Pi will be renamed to Elshina. Then you can select your default browser. For me, it's going to be Firefox. And then we can click on OK. But first, before that, we're going to check other settings. So let's go to display. And something has to be set up here is the headless resolution. So when you haven't connected any screen to your Raspberry Pi, the Raspberry Pi does not know what is the resolution. So for me, I have no screen connected, but I'm connecting using VNC. So for that purpose, I set a default resolution. So even if there is no screen connected to the Raspberry Pi, we can specify here a default resolution. So the next things to set up are the interface. Okay, for me, I did some setup of that in my previous video. I enable SSH so I can connect to my Raspberry Pi using a terminal. You don't have to do that. VNC, for me the same. I use it because I'm using videos. I'm creating videos on it, so but you don't have to do that. Two or three things you should do is I2C, enable it, serial port and serial console. So I2C is used to connect some various sensor, capture, humidity, IMU for the autopilot and things like that. The serial port is used to connect some additional sensor or device using the USB port. So this is something you should enable also because, for example, in the next video or so, I will put in a GPS sensor using the USB. So this is something we should implement too. The next thing is the localization to set up. So let's go there and set local, and I'm gonna check my language. I'm gonna leave it for English, country, United Kingdom is okay, United States or whatever. The character set, it's fine for me. So this is okay. The time zone, let's click on it. Europe, London. Well, no, I'm gonna select Belgium. So it should be Brussels, and then I click OK. And then I can select my keyboard, and it's generic. The layout, sorry for mine, is not English, but it's a Belgium keyboard. OK, Belgian keyboard, and I click OK, setting the keyboard and the wireless LAN country. Otherwise, you cannot connect onto the Wi-Fi. For me, it's going to be Belgium again. So I click OK, and then I click OK to set that up. Or do you want to reboot? I click yes, and then let's do the reboot. I'll see you just after. Okay, rebooting is on the way. As you can see, when the Pi boots, there are a lot of setup and a lot of starting processes that are done. You can start them manually if you want by clicking on this icon, or by clicking on preferences, no, OpenPlotter and check system. I will do that now just to show you. So you see it's checking and starting some various info and processes. So, but this is usually done at the start of the program, but you can disable it. I will show you that later on. So I'm going to close that. If you look at your screen, you can see after a while you have probably set up your Wi-Fi. I've shown that in the previous video. Again, so to connect, you leave the mouse on it and you have a pop-up with your IP address. And beside that, there is an icon here saying that updates are available. Click to install. So I think the first things to do is installing the update. So I click on it and a pop-up appears, show or install. So I can make show. So there are a lot of setup after the first boot not setup, sorry, updates to do. So I click on install and the system will download and make the updates. Of course, to be able to do that, you have to be connected to the Wi-Fi and to internet. So you need to have set up your Wi-Fi before having the update icon. So let's do the update. I'll catch you after that. Okay, system is up to date. Just click on OK, and this is it. Okay, so that was for the setup of the Raspberry Pi. Now let's have a look at the setup of OpenPlotter. So OpenPlotter, settings, window should open. This is it. Okay, let's make it bigger. The system says press refresh. Okay, let's press refresh then. So the system you can see here all the programs that are included in OpenPlotter. Of course, the setting, this is the one, the documentation, Signal K, OpenCPN, and things like that. You can see what is installed. So this one, and what version is available. So you have candidates here. And what version is available, and some are Pilot is not installed, but this is the version. I2C sensor is not installed, and so on and so on. You can also click on Get Candidates, so the system will check on the net, on internet, for the latest version. So you see it's connecting and fetching the latest one. So no new version to install. Okay, you can see here the notification. So this is programs to send notification and alarms on your boat, configuring some triggers or things like that. I'll show that in the future videos. So you just click on the line. It says open to apply and refresh. So let's open it, and then click on start. Performing pending action, please wait. So let's wait for done. Close the window, close, and then refresh, it says. So let's click again on refresh, and you see that notification now is not anymore in red, and we have the latest available version of it. So on the top of the menu, you have 2 or 3 things. You have auto start. You can see it's gray, so it's enable. I recommend to leave it enabled, so the system starts all the processes at the booting time. You can just click on it if you want to remove the auto start. So it says it's auto start disabled, most feature will not work. So I recommend to leave it on. So that's one point. You have the check system. I've already shown that just a few minutes ago. And also you have network here. This will be set up in the next video if this is used if you want to activate an access point. Some other programs here like AveNav, E2C Sensor, pPilot, I will enable them in the future video also. So in general settings, you can choose the language. I'll leave it in English because these videos are in English. I've made some videos in French also, but these ones are in English, so I leave it as it is. The virtual keyboard, I can change the layout of the virtual keyboard. You can open the virtual keyboard on clicking on this icon on the top here. You see you have a virtual keyboard that's open if you have no keyboard connected. And you can play a sound, so nothing really interesting here. So Raspberry Pi setting, we'll use this in the future. Here is if you want to create the hotspot and using the network will show you all the information. This is for the next video, as I said. So there is nothing to set up here for the moment. Okay, this is it for the setup for the moment. Let's switch that off and try to start OpenCPN. So you go in OpenPlotter and you go OpenCPN installer, click on it, and the system says you should press start. Okay, let's press start and wait a little bit while it's downloading, installing, and things like that. You can close the window now. Let's go back to the menu here, OpenPlotter, OpenCPN installer again. And now you have something else. Now you have to choose which version of OpenCPN you want to install. It says check version. Okay, let's click on check version. Just wait a little bit. As you can see, it's checking version. Please wait. The first time may take a while, so we wait. I will catch you up just after that. Okay, it's done. So Debian Ubuntu recommended for long-term support. So we should, the version OpenCPN Ubuntu is installed and things like that, blah, blah, blah. Check version is done. So let's go back on install here. And you can see that the Debian Ubuntu version of OpenCPN is installed. Again, don't mix OpenPlotter and OpenCPN. Okay, if you look at the screen, you have install, uninstall, install, not uninstall, install, not uninstall. So my guess is you have install in uninstall. So if you can uninstall, this means it is already installed. So you can click on auto start if you want full screen or not. This is not my case. I don't care. I don't need OpenCPN to auto start. I just need OpenPlotter to auto start. Okay, I could click on open here to start OpenCPN, and the first time you start OpenCPN, you have a welcome screen. You just have to click enter or OK, and it's going on. But before that, for me, I'm gonna close that and make a reboot. So because I've done a lot of settings, I've done some updates and things like that. So click on the menu, click on shutdown, click on reboot, and then I'll catch you up. Okay, I've done the reboot and it says something in red for me. OpenCPN shortcut is broken. Click install in OpenCPN installer to rebuild it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Click on close, Raspberry Pi, the menu, OpenPlotter, OpenCPN installer, and I'm going to click again on check version first. Check version, it's quite quick. Go back to the install and click on, because there is an uninstall, so this is the one I'm going to choose. Install. Are you sure to you want? I click yes, and it's making the complete reinstallation of the program. Very quick. And now if you go back in the menu here, the Raspberry, OpenPlotter, you have a new icon which is OpenCPN, on which you can click to start OpenCPN. Okay, OpenCPN is open. I've downloaded some maps around Florida to show you. So the goal here is not to explain how OpenCPN works. The goal here is to show you OpenPlotter. OpenCPN is just one program of OpenPlotter. Um, Maybe I'll do some video on OpenCPN, but currently I'm not using it a lot because for me it's a good program, but it's an old-fashioned program. I prefer to use AveNav, which is based on a web server, so you can uh, have your maps on any device without installing any program. Just a browser is enough to show your maps and things like that. So this will be explained in the next videos. One thing important, of course, as you know, maps are free for the North America, but for the rest of the world, usually maps you have to pay for them. But I will show you how to create your own map in some future video also. So today we have done the first steps with OpenPlotter. We have changed the password. We have also set the name of onboard computer. We did the connection to the Wi-Fi. We set the default screen. We set up the region and the keyboard layout. We keep our computer up to date. We had a look at OpenPlotter settings, and we did the first start of OpenCPN. So I think this is enough for today. See you next time. Bye.